work commitment. He will be here for the regular meeting, but so if I could have a motion to excuse his absence.
So moved.
Second.
Okay. Yeah, all in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Any opposed? Okay, motion passes unanimously. Citizen input. Does anyone in the audience wish to speak on a topic that is not on the agenda? Okay. Seeing no one, I will close citizen input. Okay. I was going to say seeing no one, period, but yeah, just about. Okay, so next one is draft minutes from the November 20th, 2025, Community Redevelopment Agencies. First of all, are there any changes? Okay, no changes, hearing none. If I could have a motion to approve the minutes.
So moved.
Second.
Okay, all in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Any opposed? Motion passes unanimously. Okay, Community Redevelopment Agency Advisory Committee Chair Report. And this will be given by none other than the Chair, Alan McHale. It's your mic.
There we go. Good afternoon, Mayor, Commissioners, City staff. Happy New Year to each and every one of you. I hope you're all escaping the sicknesses that are going around today. The CRA Advisory Committee have had 2 meetings, I think, since our last get-together here. That was in November and in January. And on both occasions, we heard on multiple projects that are going on in the downtown area. For the most part, the committee is extremely excited at the progress being made in the downtown area with no major concerns. A lot of excitement around the Main Street Exchange project, including the new parking garage, which will solve some of the parking issues, but also create more jobs in the downtown area. So a lot of excitement around that. There's also mention of a new bank coming, the Chase Bank, on the crossroads of Bass and Main Street, which will add more amenities to the downtown area. An age-old problem keeps coming up at each of our meetings. Like many other people, we're still concerned about the growth of e-bike usage in and around the downtown area. But listening to the Sheriff on Friday at the DCO meeting, it's clear that many other communities are sharing our concern. So hopefully his desire to have better and more clear legislation in the next 12 months will help him and everyone else get a handle on the issue. At our last meeting, we were introduced to the new owners of the Tiki Rides business, Shannon and Jonathan, and they gave us assurances that the business that they've taken over will be nurtured and they'll help it grow, and they're very keen to keep it going in the downtown, so that's good as well. Both meetings were over relatively quickly with no dissension. And as I said, a lot of excitement on the project. Without going into all the project details, which I believe Bob's got on his agenda, there's nothing negative to report from our perspective as a committee.
Cool. Anybody have any questions for the chair? Starting over here, Commissioner Gao?
No, I'm good.
Commissioner Dugard?
No, thank you.
Commissioner Sandberger?
Nothing, Mayor.
I don't have anything either, but a great report. I guess it was so thorough, we just don't have anything, so all good. But thank you. Thanks for all you do.
I'll take it as a compliment, but thank you very much and good luck to each of you.
And continue that good work at Scottish American, too.
Yeah,
Matter of fact, that reminded me I owe my dues, so.
It's Burns Week this week, so remember your Burns poetry.
What is it this week?
Robert Burns.
Oh, okay. Oh, cool.
His birthday on
Gotcha.
Sunday.
Okay.
Now, you all know Burns poetry, don't you?
Yeah. Yeah, absolutely. Yeah.
You actually do.
I mean, I can't read.
You don't realize you do, but you do. You all sing Auld Lang Syne at the end of Auld Lang Syne,
Oh, thank you.
See?
written by Robert Burns. So
I
you'll
don't
share
actually know
that
that
with
one.
the rest of the world on Saturday or Sunday. Yeah.
Thank you, Alan. Okay, we will go now to, let's see, Community Redevelopment Agency Director's Report. Okay, Bob, you're on.
Thank you, Mayor, Commissioners. Bob Ironsmith, Economic Development Director. I'm here with staff. I got Carolyn Homer, Economic Development Specialist, and I got Matt Jackson, our Economic Development Manager. Trevor had a conflict, so he's not here with us today. But what I wanted to do, we're trying to get a map up here. Do we need to go, can we get a little help? Okay, I need a little help though with a map to get, this is, yeah.
It's before
Yeah, but it's
us.
up here on the screen. It makes it a little harder for me to. Anyway, what I wanted to share with you today is kind of an update on the various projects in capital, both private, that are happening downtown. There's quite a bit happening, as I know you're aware of. And what I wanted to do was kind of go run through it. Wayne, very nice here at City staff, prepared this map, which kind of gives you a good idea. But let me go ahead and start with Skinner Boulevard. Obviously, the road is open. The roundabouts are working well. Traffic speeds are slowed down, which has been fantastic. We just became, I know we sent an email, became the first one in the state of Florida to get a golf cart crossing on one of the roundabouts. That's the very first one in the state. So we're very happy about that. We do have to get some signage in play before we can really make that active. But that's really thankful to Jerry Dubkowski and ICE to get that for us with FDOT. Other items with that is we're trying to get easements from the property owners to go undergrounding with the utilities. We're making great progress. We still have a couple to go. And Duke is also there starting to put in the conduit and look to go undergrounding. We hope to see Duke finish up here really, I'm hoping by April, May. And I know Jorge has really been pushing a lot of with them. We're trying to get them to really move their schedule ahead. The other item is the landscaping. Landscaping would probably start in the summer and be complete by the end of the year. We will have a maintenance agreement with the DOT that we'll be bringing forth to you for agreement. If you remember right, they'll go ahead and install it, but we'll have the maintenance after a period of time in which it's guaranteed that all the landscaping survives. So that's where we are with Skinner. We're also looking to go forward with 2 decorative bus shelters. PSTA is looking to contribute with us. They're going to go half. We're going to go half. We're very excited about that project. This is going to be more of a decorative of nature, which is what we wanted instead of just your typical PSTA bus shelter. So Skinner is really coming together. If you remember, this was 4 lanes, high-speed traffic that bifurcated the downtown. And now what we're doing is slowing it down. We're making it more pedestrian-friendly. I see people now walking those 10-foot wide sidewalks, which always gives me great pleasure. And, of course, we did those beautiful mast-armed traffic signals as you're coming in off of Bass there. You know, we got rid of all those overhead wires. So it's hard to imagine what it looked like, but the difference has been very substantial. So we're very happy with that. Other item, which is a big one for us, is what's called a midterm review. This is Pinellas County. Carol and I went before the Pinellas County Board of County Commissioners to get approval. What this was, in 2018, the Dunedin CRA was going to sunset. We asked for a 15-year extension, and we got that extension, but in that ordinance is a midterm step, and they're going to look at our performance review. We were pretty smart ahead of the game to take on some debt for that property purchase. When you take on debt, the county really can't reduce or shorten our TIF schedule to 2033. So that got approved. Very happy to get that in play. The downtown parking garage, we're looking to move forward with that. That will require an amendment of the current interlocal agreement that we have with the county. And we've had good dialogue with staff. This will start to move up the channels in the county. We're certainly, Jennifer is with us. We'll be making probably a visit there to the county administrator soon, but we need to go ahead and take on more debt. What's interesting and what we're trying to get the county to understand is we're not looking for you to extend the CRA sunset time. I'm not looking to do that. We're not asking you for any more money. We're not asking you to guarantee anything. All we're asking for you is basically a co-signature. Let us take on more debt in order to do the parking garage. So stay tuned for that one. Old City Hall, you're basically going to see tonight. We're coming before you for 2 things. One is for the bathroom aspect there, and the other one is for the naming of the park. And so I'll be seeing you here a little bit later tonight on that one. The Main Street Exchange, as Alan said, that is moving forward. It got approval at the local planning agency. It'll be coming before the City Commission here in February. It's a project that has really been received well by the Chamber and the merchants. It's kind of an exciting project. It's probably a $40 million investment by the developer to have an 89-room boutique hotel, and in addition to have like a food hall and some culinary type kiosks in that environment, plus retail. So stay tuned on that one. The First United Methodist Church, they're still looking at an out parcel there, but nothing new to report. You know, the church has various layers that they have to go through, so I think they're still looking to try to get in unison with everything they need, but they're still looking at that. The other project right there is the Main Street Exchange, the one behind Casatina. We are working with Tina and her consultants relative to that development. She's looking at a restaurant and some other aspects to it, so downtown is certainly getting a lot of attention, and a lot of it is because the city is continuing to invest, and it's got the ear of the developers and private investors, so everybody's really looking forward to making downtown continue to be unique. So that is pretty much my report on the directors. I thought it was important to get you all up to speed, and really be happy to answer any questions that you might have, or something that maybe I didn't cover with this map. But this map tells a pretty good story in a short, concentrated area of how much is going on.
Questions, Commissioner Sandberg?
Yeah, thank you, Bob. We had a really good celebration for MLK Day. Any reason why the market wasn't open?
The market was open. It was over.
Okay, but wasn't in the park? Was it just?
We didn't want to conflict with the MLK aspect, so we moved over to the museum, and they did pretty well by the museum there too. So we tried to make sure that everyone had their own area there, so there wasn't any conflict.
Right across the street from that new, soon-to-be constructed Chase Bank, I think used to be maybe an auto repair. It's been empty for a long time.
Yes.
Any word on something possibly going on there?
No, we try to reach out, we try to push. We haven't got any word on that. As you said, it's been dormant for a long time. They don't want to sell, they want to lease, but no one's really interested in putting a whole bunch of money in to build something if they don't own it. So we continue to try to reach out, but no, don't have anything to report on it, unfortunately. Yeah.
And the last one, I mean, I don't want you to, go for hours here, but, we worked on that Skinner, that was a long time in the making. If you take that north side of Skinner, from the gas station working back towards Chase, what would be your vision of what to be constructed on the north side of Skinner?
No, what I'd like to see is mixed use, is obviously. I'd like to see something of a scale that fits in with the small town nature. I'd like to see, obviously, redevelopment that's occurring there. Boondocks, some of those type of businesses are fine. Right. I'm not looking, it's a different environment than the Main Street, It's not really quite that urban context that I would like to, So in this area, redevelopment, but I certainly am not seeing anything more than 3 stories, in my opinion, in that area. But I'd like to see it redevelop, of course. We got the new apothecary. I think that was a nice fit. We're looking to have a little bakery that's next to it, just to the west. So I think those type of adaptive reuse is really a good fit for us. I think that's part of that small town quaint feel that we want to see.
Because I think, we've done a good job with, you can walk Broadway, the Trail, Douglas, Highland. We have the thoroughfares and the connectors from Main Street to Skinner, and I think, the long-term vision would be compete with Main Street. You get some of the traffic, the foot traffic and the businesses up there. So
I agree. I mean, we created quite a bit of on-street parking, which I think is, one of the things we envisioned was to create on-street to get the redevelopment going and the economic development. So I think, a mixed use, you could have a residential, you could have a little cafe, you can have, as I said, a bakery, apothecary. I think that kind of mixed, because now we have that walking environment. We got a 10-foot wide sidewalk, and now we can get across Skinner. Before it was a real barrier. Right. And now with slower speeds and 2 lanes and the crosswalks, it's much easier to get across. So. And
the last thing would be, any update on Gateway?
Yeah, we stay in contact with the owner there, Mr. Kokolakis, and I do talk to him. In fact, I was talking to him about the West End. He reopened that. I think in some ways he's putting a little bit of a look and see to what happens to Main Street Exchange. If I'm reading the tea leaves a little bit. Okay. I think he's very committed to the project. I think he really wants to do something that is unique. He has a lot of investment into downtown. I mean, frankly, one of the largest investors in their downtown. So we have brought a couple things to him. He just wasn't quite ready at that point in time. So I think he's wanting to see what happens to Main Street Exchange. Because you got to remember, at one point in time, he was looking at a hotel out there. And so I think he's waiting to see how that all fits in Main Street Exchange.
Good. That's all I had, Mayor. Thank you.
Great. Commissioner Gao.
Thank you, Mayor. Bob, when you were talking about Skinner, you mentioned that with the undergrounding, that you were working on some easements. And,
Yeah.
and what do you mean by easements? Are we getting access from the owners of the property owners?
Yeah, yes, Commissioner, these are temporary. All this is to get their overhead service underground as the service goes underground on Skinner. So all it is from Skinner to their meter. Everything is paid for, taken care of, and it's a temporary, and everything gets restored.
Okay, so is there any concern any of those property owners might go, yeah, no?
Yeah, there is, and we're working on it. Yeah. Most of everybody's been pretty good, but yes, we could have a property owner that doesn't come on board with us. So one of the things we have to do is work around with Duke and say, how does that impact us? Yes.
Okay.
I can't force them
Right.
to do it, but yes, that is certainly a concern.
And for those property owners that do hold out, could that put a kibosh on the undergrounding there?
Well, I think what it could entail, we don't have much of that. We have maybe one that we're trying to work with. But yeah, it could be that the poles, 2 wooden poles, stay up in front of their place. And everything else is underground with decorative lighting. That, yes.
Okay, so we can underground other areas of the street and just poles around that property?
Oh, yes, I'm sorry.
Okay.
I didn't articulate it.
So
Yeah,
it won't stop the entire street?
absolutely.
Okay.
It's, Commissioner, disappointing that would occur, but yes, that certainly can happen.
Okay. And congratulations on getting our new golf cart crossing, right, at Douglas and Skinner. My question is, because that's a wonderful connector now for North Dunedin. They now have access to our downtown. We have had it at Bass, I understand that.
Sure.
But this is just right there, a little closer to home for people that live on the west end. My question is Highland North coming into MLK is the real connector to North Dunedin. But yet the crossing is at Douglas. And I understand, right, the activity of our downtown is at Douglas. So we've got the connector on a little east of where the activity is. And I can only, and I think the signage, we're going to try and direct golf cart owners
Correct.
onto Douglas and then cross at Douglas. But I'm just as a resident, I'm confident that they're going to disregard any signage and just cross where they want to cross. Is there any concern about that? Are we going to try and get a crossing at Highland, or Douglas and Bass are enough?
No, DOT obviously dictates, and Douglas and Bass are the best that we can get. So we're not able to get one in Highland. But remember, if they're, I forgot the phrase, if they're, got a plate and they're
Yeah,
licensed.
plated can do either one anyway, right?
Correct,
Yeah.
correct, because it's 25 miles an hour. So anybody that has a golf cart that has that next level can certainly go ahead and turn down Highland.
Low-speed vehicles.
That low speed, thank you.
Yeah.
Yeah, got escaped me, but low-speed vehicle will be fine. No, this was first in the state, and we knew we were the first to get Bass, so there was no way we were going to get any more on Skinner. But I certainly understand your situation. Golf carts tend to go where they want to go. They almost feel like it's entitlement. In fact, they do need to follow the law that's out there. But a low-speed vehicle certainly can cross down there.
Okay. And the bus shelters,
Yes.
yay, partnering with PSTA, that's wonderful. What are those bus shelters going to look like?
They're going to be very similar to what's on Main Street. The black decorative, what we have on Main Street, of course, the ones on Main Street were enhanced a little bit with the artistic, but these will be black and decorative.
Okay.
Yeah.
I have heard current designs might not be as aesthetically pleasing as other shelters. Are we happy with the way they look? Are we happy with the design?
Yeah.
And it's going to fit in our downtown?
Yes, we picked them out. So we went to PSTA, and so we picked them out. No, we're in good shape.
Okay. All right. Thank you, Mayor. That's it.
Okay, Commissioner DeGard, questions?
Thank you, Mayor. It's always great to go last after everybody's expired all the questions possible. So I'm going to pick on a church. Is the church, in fact, the First United Methodist Church actually for sale, or is it in discussions to be on sale?
Discussions at this point in
Okay.
time. They're working with an architect to see what options are available for them. I think their whole thing was, they see the value in that out parcel, and they wanted to go ahead and improve what's on Wood Street there as their assembly and make improvements there. So, but I think the church has some layers that they have to go through in order to get formally go out with something for sale. So, yeah.
Well, with all the investment going on in that little footprint right there, that's going to be a very important piece of property. So as soon as we have a calendar on it, I hope you'll bring that back to us.
Certainly.
Okay.
Certainly.
I couldn't help but notice that we had sheriff's officers on Skinner 2 days ago with radar. Officer Renee was out.
Yeah.
Tell me what that's about.
Well, basically, we have some cars going too quick, they're going too fast, and not recognizing that this is a slower speed. And I think what the sheriff is doing is helping us out by trying to say, hey, you need to understand that this is a much slower speed than it was before. So the sheriff's out there monitoring it, which is good. Yeah.
And I noticed that a sign had been run over not too long ago out there as well.
Yeah, we've had.
Sorry about that.
Yeah, that was good. That was good.
We wondered why that little part in your bumper was there.
Yeah. We've had a few signs knocked over, as people start to understand that this is not a high-speed commuter to get to Alt 19, so yes.
Yeah, we need roundabout training, I guess.
Well, yeah, and I certainly drive it like we all do, and it's really functioning pretty well. And I think what people have to understand, if they're negative, I've mentioned this, Clearwater's roundabouts, over 40,000 trips a day. This is 11.8 tops, 12,000 trips. And there's only one accident. Totally different environment. And it's accomplishing what we wanted. We wanted to make this a safe area for cyclists, pedestrians. We wanted to get on-street parking, and we wanted to stimulate economic development. And one of the unique things about this, too, is with those bus shelters, we did pull-offs. So when the bus comes in, it's out of that lane. So we're not going to back it up, which is pretty cool. Unlike in front of Countryside Mall. If you go there and you get behind that bus, you get caught. So this is an actual pull-off. I think we did pretty good. And we got rid of the overhead traffic signals. We just need to, as Commissioner Gale had mentioned, we just need to make sure we get this undergrounding looking good and get the decorative lighting out there.
Couldn't agree more. I've heard that there is a attitude at DOT that we won't be doing any more roundabouts elsewhere. Have you any information on that?
Gee, to be honest with you, I'm thinking the opposite of that. I think that Ford Pinellas is really favoring them. I thought DOT is really looking at them pretty hard too. So no, I have not heard that.
Okay. Well, if you hear anything along those lines, I'd like to put in a counterpoint because I think they're a wonderful ad.
Yeah, I mean, they did the one up there on Old 19, right, in Palm Harbor. That was probably, by Florida Avenue, I guess. So no, I think they like them from a couple perspectives. One, it stops idling and traffic buildup and slow speeds down. So no, only hearing good things. So, yeah.
Any plans on doing traffic monitoring or a crossover just to check speeds on it without having to have officers out there?
Wow, I know they put the sign up there with the speed. I think eventually that's what they're going to do. But I think right now they need some manpower out there. I think I can't speak for them. They're probably issuing some warnings and doing tickets. They're probably doing both. And so I think eventually they'll just move away and get to another area. But right now we need them.
And it could be, let's not forget that it's the first year for tourist season.
Good point.
And so
good point.
It could be people that aren't from the area.
Yeah, I mean, it's a big change, but it's a good change, especially for this city and this downtown. And, back to, I'm not sure who started some conversation. It might have been Commissioner Sandberg, but we started this project in 2017. That just tells you how long it took us with a $100,000 grant from Ford Pinellas. Then we got through it, and then we actually got a $1 million grant from Ford Pinellas. So this has been a long time in the making. To get to where we get to. And most of the things I see are pretty favorable. When I talk to our communications director, Sue Burness, she monitors social media. I really don't, unless I have to. And it's been pretty favorable. It's been good.
Okay.
Yeah.
Anti-social media is what Sue calls it, and I think that's a
No,
great term.
I used to have a former commissioner said, gee, are you watching all the stuff on Facebook? And I said, to be honest with you, I get over 100 email every day anyway. And it's not going to change my professional recommendation to Jennifer or to you all, based on what's on the social. Yeah, Carolyn tells me what's on social media. I like to be aware of it.
Right,
I
be
wanna
aware,
be
but
aware.
don't freak out about it, right?
But I'm not going to change my position. But I do need to be aware. It allows me to prepare and offset. So Carolyn takes care of that. So it's good.
Thank you so
And,
much, appreciate it.
And I can tell you, I'm learning a lot from Carolyn and Matt behind me, how well they use AI on different things, and how they prepare and get pretty efficient
Oh
very,
my
very
God.
quickly. So
I heard a horrible story about AI today, and it had to do with, it's one of Musk's new platforms, where they, you can literally, dictate what you want to see, and 41% of the stuff is sexually, they're
Oh.
doing, sex pictures. It's crazy.
Oh.
I mean, at some point, you gotta control some of that.
no,
'cause-
I think we use AI where we can.
Yeah, it's X something. I can't remember, but
I got.
yeah, it was
go ahead.
really, it was, yeah, XXX, but,
Don't know if there's any more questions, or I have one
well,
more.
no, I have a lot to add.
Oh, you got a lot there. Go back.
Yeah, I was just going to tell my colleagues, first of all, about social media, Facebook, that
Okay.
I spoke to a group that was probably 100 people at the community center, and they were all, pretty much all citizens, and, I said, you don't have to wait till I come here to speak to you, you can just call and ask, and pretty available. And then I said, but the one thing you will not get me to respond to is any kind of social media, Facebook stuff. And I said, and everybody out there was like, yeah, we get it, so I said, that's just never going to happen, so. And so just email, a lot of people have your cell, so text. Sure. Anyway, so that's my little 2 cents on anti-social media. I was going to say, love the roundabouts. Of course, I travel them every day, all the time, constantly, because of this side of town, and I just think they're great. And people, but it's a really good point, though, that we've got the vacationers coming, the seasonal people. So, really good point to get them used to it. I did want to comment to your thing, Commissioner DeGard. I absolutely have heard that DOT is taking more of a position away from complete streets.
Oh.
Now, I don't know, this was a comment a couple months ago, but it was all like, don't come to us at anything that's going to reduce lanes, and all that, so you might want to.
We just made it then, under the
Yeah,
wire.
we just made it. That's kind of what I felt, because I think, obviously I'm a believer in what we did, so,
I guess
That's
it's
called
a
the
different-
retro FDOT.
yeah, so,
That's how they were in the 80s and 90s.
yeah.
I guess a different ideology. Yeah,
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
So my questions are, why would anyone not want to underground if it's just a temporary easement?
I'll think about that one. I think some past upsetment that the road was, closed, that there was construction, there was debris, and I lost some business, and, not as comfortable with the city, those types of things. And, I even tapped Jorge to help us a little bit. But yeah, it's hard to understand. It only improves. We feel the city improved everyone's property out there quite a bit by doing what was done. I mean, it was really a $14 million project thereabout. And
I know around where you're having the issue, and I
Yeah.
went by and I'm like, oh my God, it should be so bad. And especially bad for the property owner, in my opinion, so,
yeah, we're having a hard time understanding
yeah,
that.
I got you.
But yeah.
Okay, well, I'll let that one go. And then, how big is the United Methodist Church site?
Yeah, that's a great question. I mean, I don't know. I'd have to get back to you all. And
You could let us know. I'd kind of like to know.
it's small. It doesn't have a lot,
Yeah.
depth. I mean, Wood Street is right
So
there.
when you look at Main Street Exchange,
Oh,
and
no,
then you're going to be catty-cornered right across, I was just kind of curious how big it was, still how,
Jorge can probably look it up while we're talking.
Yeah,
okay,
I think that property will have
because that would
challenge.
scare me, how
Yeah,
big this.
remember, they need to meet parking requirements, all those other things, so you're absolutely right. I mean, it's a challenge. It doesn't have a lot of depth there. So I think something would
Gotcha.
have to be a little bit much smaller scale.
Okay, Rock House? Anything new on Rock
Yeah,
House?
the Rock House, we met with them a couple times. They originally were approved for their site design, then they decided to change it. Then they were looking for, to meet their parking requirement in the city right-of-way. We can't do that. It needs to meet
Right.
on their property. Looks like they were trying to adjust, so I don't really have any new status for you. I did see them out there with some silt screens and things.
Yeah, I saw that, so that made me
yeah.
think something was maybe trying to be moved, so.
We'd like that. We did meet with
Right.
the one partner, but, yeah, I'm not sure what's going on there. But the city can't make up a private property owner's parking requirement by going in the city right away.
Yeah, no, no.
We just
I-
can't do that.
I fully
so,
understand that.
yeah.
The Norton's Brewery expansion, what does that mean?
The brewery's been on hold. I don't know, not sure exactly what the status is that with Jack Norton. So we'll have to do a little digging on that one. Yeah. It hasn't opened, hasn't done anything.
Okay, because it looked like it came up during the development, or the CRA advisory, so.
Norton's Brewery. It came up more.
And it
that's
said
just-
expansion, that's what caught my eye, so.
Yeah, no.
Maybe I
no.
should ask Alan.
Yeah, Alan's right here. No, not an expansion, just I think people were asking, why hasn't that opened? It's just sitting dormant there, and nothing has occurred, for that metal
Okay.
building there.
Okay.
Notice Alan has something.
No, the only thing, sorry. There was a couple of questions on the same subject, and the answers we got were hearsay. It's not anything that we could say was definitely the cause of the delay. But there was one or two comments around the table saying it was because of one factor or another, but nothing to substantiate it.
Okay, gotcha,
So,
thank you.
Yeah.
The interlocal agreement amendment, is that strictly because we're going to borrow more money?
It is.
Okay.
And currently, just in general, just to go back a little bit, we had originally got an interlocal agreement for about 6.84 million, thereabout. And Matt's been working on this quite a bit. And we used 4.114 million to do the property purchase at Scotland and Scotland and Douglas. Initially, we were looking to use some Skinner dollars as part of financing there, but we didn't. We used ARPA money. The bottom line is we have about 2.48 million available left on the interlocal. To get to the garage, we need to increase that by about $6.8 million. So we need the county's approval. Anytime you look to take on debt, because the county is a participant with their TIF, you need to go before them for approval. So we need an interlocal amendment for that. And that's what we've been working on with staff and keeping Jennifer up to speed.
Okay, good, thank you.
But I think what the county needs to understand, we're not asking for any more money. We're not asking for any additional time. We're not asking you to guarantee anything. We're just looking for you to allow us to take on a little bit more debt. We'll show you how it's secured on the city side. And that's what we're trying to get across to them. Matt's been working on a letter. We're looking to get that to the county so it can start to go up through the different staff there to take a look at that. Yeah.
Okay,
It's a big deal, though. It really is.
so I think you said something, Mike's Automotive was what you were talking about earlier.
Yeah.
Commissioner. Yeah, I mean, like, can they just, like, sit there forever? Because,
Talked to George a little bit about that, but that's what they've been doing, and nothing's happening, and it really is, as you all have mentioned, a detriment coming into our downtown, so, yeah.
totally is, and
I know two people tried to acquire it and couldn't get there, so I'm not sure what's going on.
yeah, I mean, I wouldn't lease it there either, because you're going to have so much work you got to put in it, but,
Yeah,
okay.
yeah.
All right,
Mayor, can I piggyback on that?
sure. Mhm.
Are there any ordinances, is there anything that the city can do that kind of incentivizes them to do something on the property or sell it? Or,
I think it's a great question, Commissioner Gall. I'm going to go ahead and talk to George Kinney, our Community Development Director, to see if there's anything in there that can maybe push it up a little bit, yeah.
and if we don't, but there are things out there we could do, let's talk about it and get it on the books now. We probably grandfather in certain current business owners, but down the line, it might expedite people that if you're going to develop the property, the development, just don't sit on it.
Oh, okay, sure. We would work very quickly with
Because I
anyone.
know Clearwater talks about that with their downtown, people that buy their buildings and then don't do anything there, and it kind of, ties up the city on what they can do. So, I don't know.
Yeah, no, let me,
Think about it.
I certainly hear from, certainly, I hear from all of you. Let me try to do a little more digging on that one.
Well, I think in this case, it was just he started to build it, and the project went wrong, it got built wrong, and he just like abandoned it, basically, even though he still owns the proproperty.
He did, yeah, failed a little more.
And to me, that just kind of makes me think back to when we had the house, I don't even know if you were here, Jennifer, but we had the house on Alt 19, I don't know if you remember it, the house on Alt 19, the guy that owned it, it sat half completed forever. You probably know that, yeah. That's
That was about 20 years
You would
ago,
probably had it in
yeah.
LPA, or, yeah, maybe it was on code, though.
Gene and Francis stopped construction on that. I do remember that.
Well, and there was something put into code about that, where you could not sit on, and keep just re-upping your permit. There was, and I don't remember what it was, but to me, like, I look at that and it just makes me think of that, so.
Yeah.
So that's why I just wonder if there's anything, or, so anyway, if you could look into that, because
Yeah, well-
it's an eyesore, and,
It is, well, excuse me, we'll get with
I mean, I
the,
hate it because it's sitting right there. It's not just their entrance, but it's also, right there in front of Meese Life.
yeah, Meese
and
Life is not happy
They're trying to
about it.
do all these improvements, and I used to look at it from my mother's apartment there, and it just would aggravate the heck out of me constantly.
Yeah, no, Meese Life is not happy about it, and I know they were approached and
Yeah,
didn't get anywhere. But
terrible,
let
yeah.
me get together with the Community Development Director, George Kinney, and see what kind of options we might have and be able to report back to you.
Great.
Mayor, Jorge reports that First United Methodist Church is .83 of an acre.
.83.
Oh, that's, it might be, they're looking to keep a couple buildings there too, so it might be, excuse me, it might be a little bit
A little
smaller.
less than that. the one that
Yes,
they want to
yes,
sell.
please. They're looking to keep 2 buildings
The whole site is
to the
22.
east, yes. So, but that's a good gauge, I guess.
Yeah, I think it's a sanctuary that they're considering letting go.
Correct.
Okay. Well, I don't think I have any other questions. Everybody's good with questions? Anything else you wanted to add?
I do.
Other than congratulations, Carolyn?
Carolyn, can- yeah,
You
Carolyn,
got
can-
your
can you hit that
redevelopment certificate, or?
No, we're, one of the things that Jennifer has been always good with staff is to invest in staff. And this is a good example here. Carolyn, who came on board with us, Carolyn Homer, about, a year and a half ago, we wanted to get her up to speed with things related to Community Redevelopment Agency. So Carolyn took some classes going to Orlando and also to West Palm, and she now has a certificate you see there in the designation as the Florida Redevelopment Association Redevelopment Professional. So
Good.
we're very proud of Carolyn to get that. What does that mean? When she's doing annual reports, when she's looking at accounting, when she's looking at capital budgets, all these things is much easier for her to get up to speed with it. So we're proud of Carolyn, and frankly, Matt behind me, he'll be taking those classes too. So we want the staff to really be up to speed, and this is a great designation. And
Competition, who gets the better grade?
yeah, let's see who gets the better grades. Absolutely. And one of the nice things too is Karen will be recognized. The FRA, Florida Redevelopment Association, has a conference each year in October, and would love for any commissioners to attend. Usually there's different political officials there, and it's just a great program to get up to speed on redevelopment. And Carolyn will be, with others, be recognized at that annual conference, which is kind of cool. So.
Where's it held?
I think it's going to be Punta Gorda, Charlotte is the next one coming up. We can send the information. We'd love to have company.
Good.
It's always a great thing. It's nice. We will try to, we did get that one award for the streetscape in front of Costantina. So I think, we'll look to get Skinner Boulevard and maybe some other things in for award consideration, next year or the year after. So that's what we're looking to do. But listen, downtown is going great, and it's been because of the investment the city has made, your focus, and Jennifer, and staff, and chamber, merchants, everybody coming together. That's really why it's done so well. And I always tell the story. I'm a very big believer, and if you've been around me, on incrementalism, and we've done that. And what a lot of cities do is major capital projects, public works, here's $6-7 million, they do things and say, we're done. We haven't done that. It could be an artistic bus shelter, it could be widening a sidewalk, it could be just different things. And I think the city's been committed to that, and that's why it's being recognized. as one of the top downtowns in the state of Florida. And so you all have a lot to be proud of. And we're excited to continue it. When I look what's coming up, I know tonight we have Old City Hall. That's kind of a biggie project. That's kind of a neat little pocket park. We have the streetscaping on Main from the trail to Broadway in front of Cafe Al Fresco. We're going to update that. We're going to make the sidewalk a little wider on the north side. We're looking to get the parking garage going. That's also pretty cool. And Skinner Boulevard will be completed. So it's a pretty cool day. And I was telling Jennifer, I met with her earlier in the day, it's a pretty cool day to be the director, to see all these great things happening, and to have the latitude to move forward with all this. It's a pretty cool thing. And it's exciting. I'll be getting into my 31st year here. I started in 1995, so I am definitely been around a long time, and now I got a great staff, and we got a great commission, and good city manager, great city manager. Everything's going well, so we're excited. Jennifer knows this. I told her
Great city
earlier.
attorney. Great
Yeah, no, we're excited, and no.
Yeah, got to do something about that.
No, I want to put it, no, I hadn't finished. I want to put a plug in. This is not CRA stuff, but the affordable housing project we did, I got to tell you, Jen Cowan and Mark Johnson and her staff have spent hours and hours. You would think the closing would be easy. There's so many different loans. There's maybe 10 attorneys been involved in this thing, and there's been deadlines to meet, and Jen Cowan all did great. And Jorge's always been a good go-to guy to try to help me figure out things. We actually sent him in on the easements to help us out too. So no, we're very fortunate, and we recognize that. And the engineering staff too has been great. Clay and Martin, everybody. I can go down the list. We're only as good as the support we get from other people in other departments, and that's really what the difference is. And we're one city. You know, one of the things when I look at other cities, they have so many different areas and different factions. It's very hard to bring everybody together, and here we do it. It's been good. So,
Well, thank you for your leadership, Bob.
Well, I appreciate it.
So final comments, final CRA comments. I'll start with Commissioner Gao.
No comments.
Commissioner Dugard.
Kudos on everything. Thank you.
Awesome.
Appreciate it.
Commissioner Sandbergen.
As I started to tell you, this week I spent a day at the Clearwater Courthouse, and I was summoned for jury duty. Didn't get picked, so it gave me a chance for about 4 hours to wave the Dunedin flag. It is just incredible to hear people. You know, they're in awe that you live in Dunedin, and it's always their favorite spots, their favorite restaurant, their favorite brewery, their favorite shop.
Yeah.
And I mean, between the three of you and then Trevor, I wish he was here, but thank you for everything you do. Maybe makes our job really easy. You know, when people want to stand in line to give me stories about Dunedin and how much they enjoy it. So it says a lot for you guys.
Oh, nice to hear. Thank you.
Yep, thank you.
So I'll pile on. So, you know, I think I mentioned at another meeting that I'm marrying a young lady and her fiance at Fenway in April. So there was a bachelorette party staycation, you know, where we stayed in a vacation rental, and pretty much everybody else was from out of town, some from out of state. And oh my gosh, I mean, we just did it up. I mean, you know, lucky. Well, I won't go into places, but we did it up pretty good between the shops and the restaurants and the drinking establishments. I didn't do anything I'm embarrassed about. So, but I mean, but I say it just because every time I do that, and it's not the first time I've done a staycation downtown with people visiting, I'm just amazed because it's just fun to be going around town and, you know, seeing all the owners, talking to them, seeing the shop, you know, just, you know, again, just almost being kind of a visitor in your own city. But I'm so proud of this city. Everybody loved it. Everybody had the best time. Yeah, I mean, we ended up at a restaurant right up here on Sunday morning, and I was really happy to go home and rest and watch football. But anyway, it was, I mean, our city never disappoints. It's just amazing. So anyway, if there's nothing else for the good of the order, I'm going to adjourn the meeting. Meeting adjourned. See you all at 6.